welcome aboard, welcome aboard. Sante Sana Warden. As we say here in the Harambe, we say Twende, which means let's go! Hey, Jumbo, everybody, my name's Brian. I'll be your safari guide for your journey through the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Here on the Harambe Wildlife Reserve, we work toward the preservation of wildlife and engage our guests in conservation. You know, friends, what you see with your eyes, you value in your heart. Directly above you, you'll notice the animal spotting guide that we will probably see a lot of those animals today, but I can't guarantee all of them, but I usually have some pretty good luck. For your safety and the safety of others, please remain in your seats at all times while on safari. Parents, hey guys, if you'd like your child to be seated on your lap, that's fine. Just have them face forward and have them remain on your lap for the entire safari. If you guys are ready for your safari today, on the count of 3, you are going to say Twende, which means let's go. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Friends, your safari begins here in the Little Ituri Forest. Here in the Little Ituri Forest, these animals' natural colors and markings help to keep the animals camouflaged from their predators. They are rather shy and timid, so I'm going to actually whisper because I don't want to startle any of the animals that we may see here in the Little Ituri Forest. On your right-hand side is the beautiful okapi. The okapi, although it has a zebra-like stripe on its hindquarters and front legs, it is actually not related to the zebra at all. It's actually related to the giraffe because it has a prehensile tongue. Friends, I'll teach you a little bit more about the prehensile tongue when we see the giraffe. And by the way, we are not going home today until we see a giraffe. And I was told this morning that this truck is packed and ready for a 2-week safari. If that's okay with you guys, say whoop whoop. That's what I was hoping you were going to say. On your right-hand side is a saddle-billed stork. That beautiful saddle-billed stork, when it opens its wings, it has a 9-foot wingspan. That's as wide as the canopy is over your heads, guys. We're going to head onward. Water holes like this are great places for some of the animals to congregate. Like, well, any animal that would hang out at the water. Friends, on the left-hand side, the grayish tan animal is the second tallest antelope. That's a greater kudu. It stands 55 inches tall at the shoulder. On your left-hand side along the bank, the beautiful crimson animal is known as the bongo. The bongo's nickname is the ghost of the forest. Usually they're hidden behind the trees and shrubs, and both the male and the female actually have antlers. I know of a great water hole near the Sophimus. Would you guys like to go looking for hippos this afternoon? Okay, now we're going to take a detour here, and I need to share with you guys, friends, I usually get lost on the detour, but again, Hakuna Matata, no worries. We are packed for that 2-week safari. We're going to be traveling pole-pole along the river because the hippopotamus does not have sweat glands. So they have, in order to cool off, they need to stay under the water, and they can actually hold their breath underwater for up to 8 minutes. They eat 80 to 90 pounds of foliage a day until they weigh a maximum weight of 5,500 pounds. I'm not seeing any hippos in the water today, so we're going to keep traveling onward. Yes, guys, on your left-hand side along the bank on the backside is a hippopotamus. Also, the birds on the island are pink-backed pelicans. A group of hippos, are you ready for this, guys? A group of hippos is called a bloat of hippos. Now, the way that I remember that it's called a bloat is the hippopotamus really doesn't swim. They actually walk along the banks of the river and they float, and the word float rhymes with float. Arms and legs inside the truck. We normally see the Nile crocodiles along the banks of this river. I'm not seeing any signs of them yet. Guys, on your left-hand side are the Nile crocodiles. The Nile crocodile will grow to be 20 feet long, weighing 500 pounds. They have the most ferocious bite of any animal. Their bite is equal to 2,000 pounds of pressure per square inch. Friends, their bite is bone-crushing. We are no longer traveling slowly. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Cross your fingers as we cross this rickety old bridge. A huge Nile crocodile on the left-hand side. We're going to head all the way down to the savannah. You may be noticing that the ecosystem is changing ever so slightly as we're leaving the little Laturi forest and heading toward the savannah. Not only is the foliage on the right-hand side looking different, but the trees are changing as well. Like this tree on the right is known as the baobab tree. The baobab tree is leafless up to 9 months out of the year. Its nickname is the tree of life. And the reason it's called the tree of life is because it can store up to 30,000 gallons of water in its trunk that the animals may need to survive the dry season here. The baobab tree, or the tree of life. This is a beautiful savannah. You'll notice that on the underside of all the trees seem to have been trimmed to the same height. Well, believe it or not, human beings didn't trim those trees. The giraffe will grow to a towering 20 foot tall, and they eat anything that will hang in their reach, keeping all the trees on the underside trimmed to 20 feet. Also, the millions of animals that migrate across the savannah keep the grass trimmed as well. On your left-hand side, laying in the cave, are the painted dogs. Some of my friends refer to these animals as the African wild dogs. I don't find these animals to be wild at all. Do you know what, guys? In the morning, when they get awake, they greet one another, and that pack of dogs will not move until every dog has greeted every dog. I don't know about you, but to me, they're the painted dog. That chestnut color animal with the curved horn is the emblem of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Those are called sable antelope. Their curved horns deter the lions from jumping on their back. You may also notice the termite mounds on the right and left, that tall one on the left. The termite mound has its place here in the circle of life. The termite mound is made up of red clay, saliva, and animal dung. It gets to be as strong as concrete, and the animals actually will use those as a scratching post. Guys, up ahead on the very top of the bank, you'll notice huge cattle with huge horns. Those cattle are known as the Ankole cattle, directly in front of me right now, soon on your right-hand side. The Ankole cattle, although their horns are huge, they're not very heavy. They're actually honeycomb on the inside, and the animal, by pumping blood into the horn, they can actually regulate their body temperature. Now, they are the only domesticated animal here on the reserve. They were domesticated by the Watusi tribe, sometimes actually referred to as Watusi cattle. The African tribe, the Watusi tribe, did not raise this animal for food, because in Africa, the more Ankole cattle that an African tribe owned, the higher the tribe was revered in social class and social status. The Ankole cattle as a species goes all the way back to the Egyptian time period, the Ankole cattle. At night, the Watusi tribe will gather that herd of Ankole cattle, and they'll actually herd them into what's called a boma. Did you guys ever hear the word boma? B-O-M-A. And what that means is the boma is a thicket of thorny brush that they actually will tumble into a circle, and they'll put all of the cattle in the inside of the circle to deter anything from getting at the cattle. The boma. Directly in front of us, guys, is the Masai Giraffe. As I said, the Masai Giraffe will grow to a towering 20 foot tall. They have 7 vertebrae in their neck. Ironically, that's how many vertebrae we have in our neck as human beings. No two giraffes have the same coat pattern. Notice its irregular, jagged coat that identifies it as a Maasai. It has a prehensile tongue, and what that means is its tongue is like a finger. Its tongue is as long as my arm. They can reach out, grab a branch, and remove all the leaves from that branch with their purple tongue. A giraffe's tongue color is purple because the color purple will not get a sunburn. On the right-hand side is the tallest of the antelope family. Those are Patterson elands. They're 6 foot tall from hoof to shoulder, and they can jump 7 foot in the air from a standing position. A group of giraffes, getting back to the giraffes, there's another giraffe on the left-hand side. A group of giraffes is called a tower of giraffes. On your right-hand side is a herd of white-bearded wildebeest. That's a mouthful. White-bearded wildebeest migrate in a herd of 1.5 million, and they travel over 1,000 miles per year. With the wildebeest, they have safety in numbers. How do you keep 1.5 million together? Well, they actually have scent glands in their hooves, and the last wildebeest can smell where the whole herd has traveled. Are you enjoying your safari so far, guys? Yeah. Awesome. Well, directly in front of us is an African elephant. I noticed there were a lot of trees down. That's a sign of looking for elephants, and there's one right directly in front of us. An elephant will grow to be 30,000 pounds. On the back of their ears, they have huge blood vessels, and by flapping their ears, they can lower their body temperature by 15 degrees. Man, I wish I'd be able to flap my ears on a hot day and lower my body temperature by 15. On your left-hand side and under the brush, you'll notice the mandrill. The mandrill is the largest of the monkey species. Sorry, ladies, the male is more beautiful than the female. That may have something to do with size. The male weighs about 100 pounds, where the female is only 40, making its facial marking a little bit more prevalent in the male. Kids on board, you and I have something in common. I don't know about you guys, but kids, I like to snack at night. Do you guys like to snack? Yeah. Well, I wish I was more like a mandrill, because the mandrills inside their mouth, they actually have pouches where they can save food to snack on later at night. So I wish I was like the mandrill. Yeah. Over your right-hand shoulder, you'll see that beautiful African elephant. We're going to head onward, friends. We're going to look for some more elephants. We're going to travel through the red clay pits. I know of a great place in there where the elephants usually like to hang out. The elephants actually will dig with their tusks in the red clay because they actually eat the red clay as a mineral subsidy to their diet. We've got to go over this rickety old bridge, so I'm going to hold my breath. Oh, that's good. We got across. Let's head on into the red clay pits. Looks like the elephants were here this afternoon, guys. On your right-hand side, you'll see the elephants were digging in the red clay and eating the red clay. So we're on the right path. Let's keep heading onward. We had a major conflict with the elephants and the farmers, friends. The elephants were stampeding across the farmers' crops, destroying the farmers' crops, destroying the farmers' income. The farmers were not very happy, and rightfully so. By the way, this is a true story. So we reached out to the Disney's Conservation Fund to do some research. You'll never believe what the research found. That huge 30,000-pound elephant is afraid of the little itsy-bitsy bumblebee. So we went back to the farmer and we taught the farmer to put up a fence line up around the perimeter of their crop and every so often hang a beehive. If the elephants remotely come close to that fence line, it sends a vibration to the hive. The bees come out and literally will chase the elephants away in swarm. It was a win-win. The farmer protected his crop, the farmer protected his income, and guys, the elephant was protected as well. True story, thanks to the Disney Conservation Fund. The farmer actually was making more money than ever before because he was able to sell the honey from the bumblebees. You'll see directly in front of us there's a huge baobab tree and the elephants were digging into the tree. The bark in the tree itself is rather soft, enabling an elephant to dig into the center. But how did the other animals drink from the tree of life? Well, the other animals, by chewing on the branch and the root actually become a straw for the other animals. On your left-hand side are the beautiful greater flamingo. The greater flamingos get their beautiful pink color because of their diet. They eat brine shrimp, and brine shrimp are high in beta-carotene, turning their feathers that beautiful pink color. A group of flamingos, are you ready for this, guys? A group of flamingos is called a flamboyance of flamingo. If you think that's humorous, guys, sometime you should try to say flamboyant flamingo 5 times. Well, actually, let's try it. Are you ready? Flamboyant flamingo, flamboyant flamingo, flamboyant flamingo, flamboyant flamingo, flamboyant flamingo, flamboyant flamingo. Okay, somebody on board has had a little too much practice. We're gonna head onward, guys. Friends, on the left-hand side, you'll see that the warden confiscated some ivory tusks from the poachers. There still are 96 elephants a day being poached for their ivory. 96 elephants a day. On the left-hand side is the white rhinoceros. The white rhinoceros is the largest of the rhinoceros family, weighing between 4,000 and 5,000 pounds, and they can run at a crashing speed of 34 miles an hour. A group of rhinoceros is called a crash of rhinoceros. Friends, the rhinoceros is also being poached today for their horn, to the point that there are only 5,000 rhinoceros in the world. The rhinoceros horn is made up of keratin, which is like your fingernail and hair. The horn has no scientific and medicinal value to human beings. Friends, I'm actually going to stop talking. The rhinoceros can't see very well, but they have really excellent hearing. You'll see it turning its ears, honing in on what we're talking about today. A crash of rhino. Friends, laying on the bank on your left-hand side are 2 cheetahs. The cheetah can run at 60 miles an hour, but only a short distance. You see them over there on the left? They do all of their hunting during the day, which is different from the lions. Speaking about the lions, let's go over to the Kopi. I know of a great place where the lions like to hang out on the Kopi and see if we can't spot for some lions today. There are only 20,000 lions in the wild anymore, friends. We lost half of the population in the last 25 years, sadly. The Disney Conservation Fund has made it their goal that they want to double the number of lions in the wild from 20,000 to 40,000 by the year 2050. If you'd like to get involved with conservation friends, just stop by any of the merchandise establishments in the Harambe. The Disney Corporation will match any donation dollar for dollar, and you'll receive a beautiful pin to wear with pride.
The lion.
On the right-hand side are the ostrich. Although the ostrich has wings and a feather, it cannot fly, but it has a wicked kick that I was told, hey, Brian, don't mess with the ostrich.
Oh, I love it. Oh,
They can run at like 40 miles an hour. Friends, on the kopie is the male lion, laying on the kopie on the left-hand side. If I have any wilderness explorers on board, wilderness explorers on page 15, to get your safari merit badge, you need to know the name of my truck. My favorite animal is the lion, so of course I gave my truck the Swahili name for lion, which is Simba 1. S-I-M-B-A 1. All right, guys, that's supposed to be funny, and I'm still working on my roar. The lion will sleep between 16 and 20 hours a day, preparing for its hunting at night. The females do all the hunting. The male lion stays back and takes care of all the cubs. On the left are the warthogs. The warthogs are related to the domesticated pigs. Directly in front of us, guys, is the Bante buck. The Bante buck, actually walking, is the water buck. The water buck secretes an oily substance which makes its fur water resilient. The Bante buck is actually laying here in the dirt. The Bante buck is almost extinct in the wild. There are only 250 of them on reserves today. Again, a need for conservation. You'll also see the ostrich laid some eggs over there. Those eggs weigh about 3 pounds apiece and are equal to 2 dozen chicken eggs. The shells are so tough, guys, that I'd be able to jump up and down on those eggs and they would not crack or break. We're going to be heading into the Magani Glen. The Magani Glen is forest-like. You're going to feel a gust of cool, humid air as we turn the corner, which means that there's water close by. Here we go. There it is, friends. Directly in front of the truck is a Scimitar horned Oryx. The Scimitar horned Oryx was extinct in the wild. Luckily for us, there were a few on reserves, and they were reacclimated again in the wild. Now the species is flourishing. They have the longest antlers of any of the antelope, 5 to 6 feet long. Friends, it's time for your Kilimanjaro Safari quiz. Are you guys ready? You get 4 questions. Let's see how you do. What do you call a group of hippopotamus that rhymes with the word float? A bloat of hippos. What do you call a group of giraffe? A tower of giraffes. What do you call a group of flamingo? A flamboyance. Now you know why I've said it 6 times. And what do you call a group of rhinoceros? A crash. Excellent job, Simba 1. Friends, I'll take you guys out on safari anytime you want to come back. Friends, seriously, although your safari is coming to a closure, there's never a time than the present to get involved in conservation. You know, friends, the majority of the animals that we saw on safari, the majority are actually endangered species. As of 2.5 months ago, the giraffe now is an endangered species. If we don't get involved in conservation, friends, who will? And will these beautiful animals be around for children of the next generation if we don't? Now, I bring that up for 2 reasons, friends. First is to encourage you to get involved in conservation. Stop by any of the Harambe merchandise establishments. And second is to thank you, our guests on Kilimanjaro Safaris. Friends, are you aware that since 1995, Our guests on Kilimanjaro Safaris and the Disney's matching gift, you guys have donated over $86 million toward wildlife conservation and have sponsored over 2,000 projects. On behalf of Kilimanjaro Safaris, guys, again, my name is Brian. Thanks for your continued support of conservation. It is my hope that the beautiful animals that you saw with me today on safari, you will treasure the moment in your hearts forever. I don't like to say goodbye here because goodbye is so final. So instead, I'd like to say kwaharini. Can you guys say kwaharini? Kwaharini means go well, friends, until our paths cross again. I hope you enjoyed your safari day. Have a great day in the Harambe. Happy New Year, and come back again sometime and see us here at Kilimanjaro Safaris. Kwaharini, guys. You're welcome. Friends, although we are going to be stopping here momentarily, you may want to gather your belongings. Make sure that nothing has slipped out of your pockets, friends. Okay, friends, we're going to be moving.